Hey everyone, it's the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and I'm super psyched to be catching up with Ben Barlow of Neck Deep. Hello.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm okay. We were kind of talking before recording. We're hanging in there, taking it day by day. So,
Yeah.
how are you dealing with all this madness going on?
A lot of cuddles from my dog.
I bet.
A lot of walking around and just trying to get out of the house as much as I can. But we're lucky that we have an album on the way, so that's kind of kept me busy. If I didn't have that, I think I would. I'd probably be losing it a little bit. Wouldn't have much purpose. But luckily we have something to work on, so it's good. Just staying busy, cooking a lot. Actually, weirdly, there's
Okay.
been working out for me. But yeah, just taking it day by day.
What are some of the things you've been stirring up in the kitchen lately?
Ooh, I made what was the most recent thing I made? I did like a taco night recently. Did like a bunch of different tacos. Like took me a while. That was good. Making like a lot of loaded fries and that kind of stuff. A lot of
Sounds
Asian
so
cooking too.
good.
Yeah, it's always been a passion. My mom always said about me, like, she would always say, like, oh, your brother was a really good reader. He was reading really young, and like your other brother was like walking really young. And I was like, oh, what was I good at? She was like, you just ate food all the time. You just ate so much food. Always had my head in the fridge. So yeah, food's always been a passion, I guess.
Isn't it for all of us?
For some people, it's not. It baffles me. It honestly
I guess
baffles me
actually, I guess
sometimes.
that's a bit of a dumb statement. I think it's because for
Oh, God.
me, I just love it so much. I couldn't imagine not having that passion.
Yeah, same. I mean, West, our guitarist, is like not a foodie guy at all, has some like really strange food habits or whatever. And I'm just like, it does blow my mind. Sometimes I'm like, West, try this. And he's like, absolutely not. No, just like no interest in it. And I'm just like, what? It blows my mind. So, yeah, unfortunately, we don't all have the same passion for stuff in our faces, but I definitely do. So.
Oh, me too, me too. I remember you posted a couple weeks back this big barbecue spread even. I was like, man,
Mm,
that looks so good. So yeah, you've definitely been
yeah,
chefing it up.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, before you had mentioned the record, and of course we have to dive into that, as All Distortions Are Intentional, it comes out really, really soon. So how psyched are you for it to finally drop? Because I know when it comes to making an album, you sit on it for so, so long, and now the time's finally here for everyone to hear it.
Yeah, I'm pretty chill about it. Like, I think, um, obviously, I'm like excited for people to hear it, but like, I'm chilling just because like I think we're so confident in this record, and like even if it didn't do well, which we know it will, like even if it didn't do well, I think we're all just so happy with it and also kind of confident in it. And the whole process of making it was like such a special time that I think no matter what, like we're happy with it regardless. So like if it does really well, which all signs are kind of pointing to it doing, then that's just an added bonus. But like the bottom line of it just being an album that we're really stoked on and really happy with is like the most important thing. So yeah, we're stoked. I'm kind of chill. I'm just, for the first time, I don't think I'm like nervous or apprehensive about a record coming out. I'm like just, totally kind of at peace with it all and just like ready for it to come out, ready for people to just enjoy it. Because there's so much that like, even though we've released a lot of singles and like we've even got more stuff on the way before the record's out, like there's still so much that people haven't heard of it. Some of the biggest surprises on the record are like very much still part of the record, and we haven't let those out early yet. So I'm just excited for people to hear that, and yeah, I think a lot of people will be quite pleasantly surprised by it. Yeah.
It's amazing that you don't have those pre-record jitters anymore, because I know within the last few years you have released multiple albums. So I guess it's to the point now you're kind of like, I know the dudes I'm with, I know what we're going to do, we're proud of the music, so we're just going to put it out there. There's nothing to really sweat about anymore.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's just like I kind of touched on it before. Like the process of making the record was such a like easy, fulfilling process that I think like yeah, we all just trust that it'll do well and that and that people will like it because we enjoyed it so much and we kind of put so much into it and in such an effortless way that I think people will see that and kind of feel that when they hear it. I think it comes across as a very natural record. I think like people will see that kind of comfortability and yeah, nothing on there feels forced. It all just feels like just where it needs to be. And so, yeah, I think, those pre-record jitters of the past are kind of, they're
In the
not here
past.
on this one. Yeah, they're in the past. Yeah. Maybe that's just because we've been doing it for a while now. We kind of know sort of what to expect, but I think it's more down to just like, yeah, we just have a lot of faith in this record.
Well, tell me about burning some sofas while recording the album. Why was that even something that happened?
Um, well, they had a burn pit at the studio, and so they had like a bunch of old furniture that they were trying to get rid of. And I think it was really wet anyway, and like we really shouldn't have been having fires, but we were just like determined to fucking set fire to these things. So that happened, and then we kind of got a taste for it. Our Inner Pyromaniacs came out, and West was he was getting new sofas, so he had to get rid of his old sofas. And so he literally drove all the way home, got his sofas, and was like, I'm not going to try and sell them. I'm just going to burn them. And so, yeah, we just burnt a bunch of shit. It got kind of sketchy, but it was just, I don't know, it was a nice little event that we kind of looked forward to. It's just like, let's see if we can make the biggest fire possible. Yeah, it got a little out of hand at points, for sure.
But
yeah,
doesn't.
Right? Boys will be boys. Yeah,
Exactly.
We were just fucking around. Yeah, we were stuck in the middle of nowhere with next to nothing to do, like aside from make a record and play video games. So it was like not a whole bunch to do. We were really isolated, like, and no, like literally next to no phone signal. Wi-Fi was like terrible, and so you leave us to our own devices, we're probably going to burn some shit or break some shit, one of the two. So yeah, we ended up just burning like 4 sofas, I think it was, but hey, kept us warm in the winter, I'll tell you that.
I love how ridiculous it was, and I feel like going forward per each upcoming record release, like that should be your album recording ceremony or something now. Just get some old couches and burn them up.
Yeah, just burn something. Just not any of the gear, any of the studio. Just burn shit. We at some point as well. Well, backstory: the studio that we recorded in is supposedly kind of haunted. The area that we recorded in was is notoriously haunted as well. And one day, our producer Matt Squire was looking out of his bedroom window in the morning, just chilling, whatever, and he saw a crow like fly into the studio and die, and he saw that as like some kind of crazy omen,
oh my gosh,
like some bad omen. So he like Amazon Primed Sage, and we had like, speaking of ceremonies and
seriously.
Oh, he was like, oh yeah, it was a bad omen. He's like, I'm getting it in. We got sage, and we all fucking went around the studio with all this sage, like burning every room out, and like went to the corpse of this fucking bird, and like, oh, it was weird. It was all tongue in cheek. I don't think anyone took it super seriously, but we had to appease the spirits a little bit. And to be honest, after that, we didn't really have too many spooky experiences, so it's all good. I think
did the job.
Yeah.
Well, one of the singles you have released so far is Fall, and the video is so much fun because it includes skateboarding and adorable dogs. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that combo. So I wanted to ask, knowing that you guys are avid skateboarders, what is the worst skateboard fail that you've ever had?
Oof, damn. I've hurt myself pretty bad quite a few times, like quite a lot on bikes, like mountain bikes and BMXs and stuff too. But my worst skating slam, I've never broken anything too bad. When I was a kid, when I was like really little, I dropped in on a mini ramp and then came up the other side. I was learning to drop in. I dropped in on one side, and as I was coming up the other side, I didn't know what to do, so I jumped off, and my skateboard just hit me straight in the teeth, knocked out like one of my front teeth. That was pretty bad. And then other than that, it's just kind of like the typical like rolled ankles. My knees are like all beat up now. Like I've had like surgery on my knees. I think the other one's kind of going now too. That's just from years of like skating, and I'm probably bailing more than I'm actually skating. So my knees are kind of ruined. My ankles are ruined too. Like I still get like, if I walk around, if I'm like on a hike or something, my ankles will start going, because the amount of times I think one of my bad bails, it was only like a 5 or a 6 stair or something like that, and yeah, just rolled my ankle really badly. I was on crutches for a couple of weeks. Couldn't really skate.
That
Just like couldn't really
sucks.
walk or do anything. Yeah, I've never like broken anything super bad or like fucking gonna get any concussions or anything bad like that.
Sounds
But
like you've come close though.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm surprised I haven't broken anything in a long time. But yeah, internally, my wrists and my ankles and my knees and stuff, they're all on their last legs for sure.
Oh man, no, I can relate. My knees are all busted up from when I used to skateboard. I still have scars and everything from a teenager.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I've covered up most of my scars with tattoos these days, but yeah,
yeah.
beneath all that ink, there's quite a few scars. I know West's worst bail on a skateboard. Actually, I find it super funny. I think he can laugh at it now, but it was on because West's not really like a big skating dude. Like he likes skating, but he doesn't really skate. But like we got gifted these like cruiser skateboards, and he was on Warped Tour with this like he had a corn dog in his hand. And he was skating along with like this corn dog in his hand, wind in his hair, and he just like hit a stone and just like jolted him off. Came back like
Rough.
shaking and pale and like, oh, like what's happened? He's like, I fell off my board, like bloody knees and like a little cut on his hand and stuff. And he was like so shook. I think the worst part was that he dropped his corn dog, to be honest.
I was literally gonna say that, but him not being a huge food person, I bet he wouldn't have even cared.
I know, yeah, no, because that's the thing. He's not a huge food guy, but he loves like anything just beige. Give him any beige thing that's like deep fried anything, and that's him. But like if you put a vegetable near him, he'll run away. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, there's also a super summery blue vinyl pressing of the new album, which is available today, and it looks so beautiful. So I was wondering, are you a big vinyl fan? Like, do you have a big vinyl collection?
I have an okay vinyl collection. I do listen to records when I'm cooking, actually, because my vinyl player is like in my kitchen.
Nice.
So I feel like it's a good time to listen to a record. Record lasts, roughly an hour. You're probably cooking for like an hour, so it's a good time to like put on a record. But yeah, I don't have anything too crazy. I got a couple old Beatles records, a couple like older Fleetwood Mac records that I found. I have like a pretty good. Oh, sorry, my girlfriend was trying to call me.
I was like, I lost you for a sec.
I'm like, oh yeah. But yeah, I got like a couple old Blink records. I don't really tend to like go hunting for like vinyl variants unless I see them. If I see them in a record store, I'm like, damn, I gotta have it. I have like a Metallica like 7-inch single, like a picture disc. God, I'm trying to think. Other than that, I have like most of the City and Color records, a couple Green Day records, but again, most of them are represses. I think my rarest would be, I think it's a second pressing of the Beatles' White Album, which I paid like 70 pounds for, which is quite a lot. But yeah, I think most of like the first editions of those sort of things go for like 150 to 200. So when I saw that for 70, I was like, that's probably not a bad price. So yeah, that's from like 68 or 67 or something like that. I think I've only listened to it once because I'm like, I don't want to like take it out of it.
Precious.
Kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, nothing crazy. I probably have like between like 30 and like 45, 50 records, so nothing too crazy, but
pretty decent,
just the records that I love. Yeah.
Well, the last thing that I wanted to mention is something you guys tweeted a few days back that I really, really liked. And you said wearing a mask and protecting vulnerable members of your community is punk rock. And I just thought that's a great way to put it out there. I feel so many people will relate to it, especially your fan base. So other than wearing a mask, especially in these times, what are two other things that are extremely punk rock to you?
Ooh, damn. Okay. It's kind of hard. I feel like punk rock is like very much just like a constant mentality that you kind of like live with. But if we're talking about community-based things, I guess supporting Black Lives Matter, that is incredibly punk rock. I think generally the punk scene and the hardcore scene has always been very supportive of people of color generally. You look at bands like Bad Brains, Death, one of the first ever punk bands who were like and they were all black dudes and like went totally unnoticed for like 20-30 years and then blew up. And so yeah, supporting Black Lives Matter, supporting social justice causes is punk rock, very punk rock. And the other thing I think is just not giving a fuck what people think about you is a big part of it. Like I think that is just I think that should be the definition of punk, you know, like
Don't give a shit.
yeah, just don't give a fuck about what anyone says. Like whether you're, you know, whether you want to walk around with, you know, pink spikes in your hair, or whether you just want to, you know, be you know, a pretty, play it down and kind of do your thing. But like, as long as you just have the mentality of like, you know, if you're not with me, then fuck you, or whatever. I think just like having that punk mentality, and kind of, you know, identifying as somebody who is against the grain and against normal kind of mainstream culture, that's punk rock to me. That just defines punk rock to me. So yeah, be as wacky and as weird as you can, or be as normal as you want, but as long as you've kind of got the mentality, you're all good.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time, for hopping on here. It was an absolute pleasure catching up with you, and I'm very psyched for the record release.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for your time. Appreciate you. Good to catch up again.
Same with you. Everyone watching, this has been Ben from Neck Deep. I'm the interview queen, Alicia Atout. Be sure to check out aliciaatout.com for all exclusive interviews and features, and we will see you all next time. Bye, folks.
Yeah. Bye.